Hip-hop is a competitive activity and has always been, going back to the DJ-MC battles in the infancy of hip-hop, with sound systems and crowd control, to the rhyme ciphers in the streets where MCs tested their lyrical skills against each other. There have always been debates about who is the best. Names like Nas, KRS-One, and Cool G Rap get thrown around for who the best MC is. The most recent name, which has come up in discussions on the best ever, has been Eminem, a guy who doesn't have a classic album and has maybe one or two legitimate hits. No one can name songs from this individual that were truly influential. They couldn't tell you how this artist changed the game or how he set any trends in the genre. He's just the greatest to ever do it, and we just need to accept it. You can't deny this particular artist's skills. He's done very well on songs with big-name artists, but we don't call artists the best ever because they spit a few hot 16s, something any decent rapper worth their salt can do. Does Eminem have an album on the level of Illmatic, Paid in Full, Reasonable Doubt, Only Built for Cuban Links, Criminal Minded, etc.? None of his albums were genre-defining. He sold plenty of records, but so did Vanilla Ice and the Beastie Boys. No one is saying they're the greatest rapper or greatest rap group of all time. The Wu-Tang Clan is considered by many to be the best rap group ever, and they're not close to being the best-selling group. They have the title because of the impact and influence they've had on the genre of hip-hop, regardless of their lack of commercial success. Eminem does have a few memorable songs, like The Real Slim Shady, Stan, and Lose Yourself. Is anyone going to put these tracks on the level of The World Is Yours, I Gave You Power, Mass Appeal, Mama Said Knock You Out, The Symphony, Method Man, Just Kill a Man, etc.? Sure, these were good songs, but when we talk about being the greatest of all time, you need to have music which is truly iconic, not just good. The latter mentioned are songs which define the hip-hop genre and set the standard. So when you have an artist who has no iconic genre-defining albums or songs, and their only impact is them selling a lot of records, which Puff Daddy and MC Hammer did, and no one is saying they're the greatest rappers of all time either, why are we giving this person GOAT status? At the turn of the 20th century, P.T. Barnum had a circus attraction called the Bearded Lady. It is what the name says, a female with a beard. There isn't anything special about someone having a beard. Some people might have an interesting beard in how they cut it or how full or long it is, but overall, a beard is a non-event. Certainly not something you would have as a feature attraction at a circus. However, when a female comes out with a full beard, something which is pretty common and unremarkable all of a sudden becomes the center of attention. People like oddities, and a woman looking like Grizzly Adams certainly is that. Grandmaster Melly Mel did an interview talking about Eminem saying a big reason for his success was due to him being a white person. If a black person had Eminem's career, would they be calling them the GOAT? There actually have been black artists who've had Eminem's career and did way better. Rakim, Nas, KRS-One, Jay-Z, Ghostface Killah, Kanye West, the list goes on. No one is falling over themselves to call any of these guys the GOAT, at least not definitively. All of a sudden, however, this white guy does something and he is now dubbed the absolute best to ever do it. There's nothing special about black people being great hip-hop artists. It's been done more times than can be counted. But a white guy shows some artistic competence as a rapper and is considered a monumental event. Again, people are fascinated with oddities, and Eminem is one of them. The same thing happened with Matt McClung winning the dunk contest. He didn't do anything unique or unprecedented like when Vince Carter won it many years back, but it was more like, wow, a white guy with some hops. Who said white men can't jump? Much of this is just great white hope, but it's also novelty. To have someone of a certain race come into a space mostly dominated by another race will raise some eyebrows. What needs to be noted is when you look at people like Tiger Woods, the Venus Sisters, or even going back in time to Jesse Owens or Jackie Robinson. They didn't have people bestowing GOAT status on them the moment they touched down. In fact, they got the polar opposite. They were told they didn't belong and had no chance at success, while also enduring racial slurs and backlash. They all had to earn their respect and praise by performing at the highest level on a consistent basis. There were no shortcuts or handouts. If they wanted recognition, they couldn't just be good. They had to be great. This isn't the case for EMINEM or Paige Buchers or recently Caitlin Clark. If they can do just a few things right, they'll be elevated to the very top of their profession. Again, EMINEM, to his credit, is not trash like Vanilla Ice. He's got skills. Saying he is the single best rapper to ever do it, however, is going to need a lot more than a couple hit songs, some good features, and some sycophants overrating him. Being white isn't a good enough resume.